What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the KissCapades Podcast. And today I have a very lovely guest with me, a good friend of mine, but we never seem to have to get enough time to just talk. So I had to call her into the podcast. And, I'll just let her say her name so that if you're familiar with her voice, you'll know who she is. And, I don't want to say
you want to introduce me?
No, introduce yourself.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, beautiful people. My name is Angela Wambui Muiruri. I am a radio news anchor at Capital FM, the best mix of music. What else do you want to know? Most people know me as former Miss Kenya USA. So that's
What do you
me.
go by on Instagram?
Instagram, I go by my alter ego, which is Kenyan Queen. Yes.
So is the alter ego something completely... Because it sounds like a more...
It's like my Sasha Fierce, it's just
like the naughty side of you.
Not even naughty. I'm a good girl,
I'm sorry.
in general.
My apologies. So we'll get to that. So the thing about this podcast, I just try and bring out a lot of my friends and just talk about life in general, things that are going on in their life, and those are like the 4 pillars of life. That's what the podcast is based around: health, wealth, love, and happiness. Everybody can connect to that.
Sounds deep. Yes.
So we want to just dig deep, Angie.
Oh Lord. Okay.
And just see how people can relate to your lifestyle when they see it on Instagram, because they know you're doing this job at Capital. They see these nice bikini pictures, and that's the part. That's where I come in. Health. How do you keep fit? Happiness. If you have some love going on in your life, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll get to all that. So let's just start. Let's just start with your career.
Okay.
Is this what you wanted to do when you were growing up?
So currently, like I mentioned before, I'm a radio news anchor. Never in 1,000 years did I picture myself doing radio. I never pictured myself living in Nairobi, and here I am 5 years later.
5 years is a long time.
It is a long time. Time flies.
What was your initial plan? Because this sounds like it just happened. Without it wasn't in your plans.
It was not planned. It was God's plan,
Hey.
So initially I always wanted to be a science teacher. Ever since I was 5 years old, I always wanted to teach, and in particular science. I love biology. My background is in biology, and I think a lot of science is art. As in, when you think about, these crazy scientists that came up with all these inventions and things that we use in this day and age.
True. It is art.
Creativity. Science breeds creativity.
True.
And I think also I'm just a creative by nature, so it makes sense.
But
somehow.
what made you move or just divert from that thing that you had already set in your mind, I want to be a science teacher? Plus, I can't even picture you as a science teacher.
Science is so much fun. I had amazing teachers.
I'm just saying I won't be able to concentrate in class.
Oh, look at you. Wait, what did you ask me again?
Yeah, what made you change? What made you change that career path?
It wasn't even
I'm guessing maybe
necessarily.
were you visiting Nairobi and then you just decided, I'm coming to visit the family, but let me just try this out.
I actually had a cousin that was getting married. I was a bridesmaid in her wedding.
Yeah. Came
through, like a summer bunny. In December,
the usual,
had my one suitcase, was getting ready to go back, and I missed my flight. And in the midst of missing my flight, I was just like, let me just extend my ticket. You know those people that always extend their ticket.
Yeah.
And then also at the time, I was doing a lot of my Miss Kenya projects, interacting with other queens on the ground here in Nairobi.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me see what's popping in Nairobi. Extended till my ticket expired, and I got my first little emceeing gig at Westgate. Actually, Pinky Gilani, she was one of the first people to hire me as an MC.
Shout out
I'd
to
never
Pinky.
done it before. I was so nervous, but that small job led to another job, and it was just a ripple effect. I kept emceeing red carpet events, fashion shows, And yeah, so right before I was getting ready to head back to the States, which was like after 9 months, I was like, all right, time to go back to reality.
Yeah.
Stop living like a tourist.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I was getting ready to go, that is when I got offered a chance to go do a voice test. And the rest is history. I was flying back to the US in 2 days. And I was like, shoot, okay. Then I got a job offer. I went home. I was like, let me at least go home. So I flew back to Seattle, Washington is where I grew up. Flew there for 10 days, came back and started working. And I've never looked back since.
Wow.